Hi, this is Coach Fred. Today we're going to go over 6v6 defense. The principles of 6v6 defense are everybody defends, everybody gets behind the ball, we don't have anybody net hanging. 3-2 formation, meaning 3 backs, 2 forwards. Pressure, somebody's on the ball. Protect the center, mark attacker's goal side, and delay the attack when we are outnumbered. Okay, so everybody defends, everyone behind the ball. The more defenders between the ball and the goal, the less likely the attackers can put the ball in the net, the more likely we can get the ball back and become the attackers. If we take a look up here, this is a scary situation. We have 2 players back, 2 players net hanging, and 1 coming back but not quite there yet, while the attack has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in the danger zone. This pink area here is the danger zone. This is where they can shoot from. So this is very scary. We have 5 against 3. Not a good situation for the defense. Down here we have a much better situation. We have 6 players, including the goalie, between the goal and the attack. This person here, this attacker with the ball, has a lot to get through when he takes a shot. He's got to get it past 6 players to put it in the net. Very difficult to do. Even if he passes it to this player over here, that player has a difficult shot. If he passes it to this player here, we have a good chance of intercepting it, and that player doesn't have a great shot either, especially by the time they settle the ball and see the net. This player over here, almost impossible to pass to. 3 players between him and the ball. The best passing option here is to pass backwards, which is great, because the farther the ball is away from the net, the better. So, to make this work, everybody needs to run. Nobody net hangs, nobody stands around watching. If you're tired, ask for a sub. Rest on the bench, run on the field. Okay, so 3-2 formation. 3-2 formation means 3 players are back, 2 players are forward. How does this work? Well, as the ball moves, we shift together. We have to talk to work together. Simple commands for the team to execute are shift right, which means everybody moves to the right, shift left, everybody moves to the left, and push up, everybody moves upfield, and fall back. Everybody comes back to protect the goal. And we do this together. We stay together. We don't spread out as we do this. We stay together. The goalkeeper has the best view of the field and should command his team. He should be executing or commanding these phrases, shift right, shift left. As a visual of how this works, if the ball moves, that it's passed, our team must shift up and to the right to cover this, as so. If the ball is passed again, the team must shift to adapt. So we're going to shift right and fall back on this one, like that. Pretty simple, but we stay together. We keep a lot of people between the goal and the ball, and we keep pressure on the ball. Pressure, the first defender. That is the closest player to the ball. That player immediately moves to the ball to keep the pressure on the person with the ball. The first defender's primary objective is to keep the attacker out of the danger zone. Attackers outside the danger zone do not have a good shot, and they'll need to try to pass it or dribble the ball into the danger zone for a good shot. So because they want to get the ball into the danger zone, we want to steer the attacker away from the danger zone and toward the sideline. Why the sideline? Because if the attacker makes a mistake, he'll knock the ball out of the field, over the sideline, and it's our ball. Perfect. The pressure player also makes it difficult for the attacker to see the field and to make a pass. So by being close to the ball and being able to reach out and basically kick or poke the ball with our toe, makes it very difficult for the attacker to look up and see where he can pass the ball to. Another common mistake for young soccer players is to jump when approaching the ball. Stay on your feet. Jumping makes it very easy for the attacker to dribble around you. You cannot change direction once you're in the air. And lastly, patience. If you overcommit to take a ball, the attacker can dribble right around you. Wait for the attacker to make a mistake. That's when you take the ball. That doesn't mean stand back and watch the attacker dribble around. That means get close enough to put pressure on the attacker so he has trouble dribbling the ball and trouble passing the ball. So much trouble that they make a mistake and then the ball is free and it's yours to take. Protect the center. It's a bad situation when nobody's in front of the goal. As we see here in this field, our defenders have all shifted over too far to the left, trying to take the ball, that they've left the center open. Now the attackers are just one pass away from a shot on an open goal. That's a very scary situation. Much better is the scenario down here where the center is protected. Okay, we have our pressure player out here, but our other players, we have 3 players in front of the goal. Much harder shot. If the center player gets the ball, he could take a shot, but it's got to go through 4 people to score. That's a much better situation than up here where only the keeper has a chance of stopping the ball. So, a few rules. In general, forward players should not cross the center except to become first defender. That means the right forward stays on the right side of the field and does not cross onto the left side. So this right defender stops here at the middle. He does not go over here. Same with the left defender, left forward. He has control of the left side of the field. He would stop here. He would not go over here onto the right side. Backs are the same way. The left back defends the left side of the field. The right back defends the right side and does not cross the center, except in an emergency. What sort of emergency? Well, when that player is the closest player to the ball. He should cross the center line and become the pressure player. How does that happen? Our teammates are out of position, or a teammate has fallen, and it's become an emergency situation. An attacker may have run in, a pass may have come in, and that player is the closest player to the ball and should cross the center line and get in front of that ball and stop it. What happens when a defender must cross the center line? The rest of our team must shift position to fill in the holes. Easier said than done, because something unfortunate has happened to pull us out of position, and it's going to be tough to get back into position while the other team keeps attacking. But we have to keep our eyes open and adapt. mark attacker's goal side. What goal side means is be between the attacker and the ball and the goal. Okay, so in this case we have a throw-in. We'll often see young soccer players get in front of the person they're marking, but that makes it very easy to put the ball out past the defender with a leading pass to the attacker, who then has a one touch away from a shot. Over here we see it's much better. The defender is behind the attacker. When the throw-in happens, the attacker may receive the ball, but even if he does, he cannot turn. Our defender is blocking his progress. So when he does turn, our defender is most likely going to take the ball from him. Now, when a ball comes to your mark, you have two options. You can try to intercept it by passing the attacker and beating him to the ball, or you can stay directly behind him and prevent him from turning to face your goal and making a shot. When do you try to intercept? If your chances of success are good and a teammate is covering you, which means if you make a mistake and don't get the ball but the attacker does, is there somebody between that attacker and the goal? If there's nobody else, you should not try to intercept that ball unless your chances are 100%. Delay, slowing an attack. A common problem in a game, happens multiple times in a game, is that the attackers get a fast break. Somehow the ball got onto our attack, into our defending half, and we are outnumbered by the attackers. For instance, in the diagram here, we have an attacker with the ball, and we have only one person in line with the ball, nobody behind the ball except the goalkeeper. The arrows are meant to represent everybody's running as fast as they can to get back to defense, to create the 3-2 formation. But the attack wants to get their shot off as quickly as possible before our team can recover. So what do? The pressure player, this one right here, must slow the attack to allow time for the team to recover and set up the 3-2 formation. How do we slow the attack? Well, the closest defender, the first defender, channels the attacker away from the danger zone and towards the sideline. Their number one priority is not taking the ball. They should not attempt to tackle the ball unless success is guaranteed. Their number one goal is to slow that attacker down. If they can, get that attacker to turn his back to the field, at which time he cannot see where to pass. So we stay close to the ball, but we keep the attacker's eyes on the ball and make it very difficult for him to dribble, shoot, or pass, while we buy time for our teammates to come back and recover to the center and rebuild the 3-2 formation. Players who are not first defender must sprint. They must run as fast as they can and get back here and get to the center. If you don't know where to go to the center. Block that goal. Okay? As your teammates arise, look to where everybody's positioned and build that 3-2 formation. So the first person back comes here. They come here. Block that center. Second person comes here. Alright, block that shot in case that attacker shoots. Third person, finish the triangle right here. Fourth person comes in, sets up the back row. We now have 3 defenders across the back. We got 1 pressure player. We got 1 forward. Okay, that's a good situation. Very difficult to score, for the attackers to score in. So in summary, principles of 6v6 defense are: everybody defends. Everyone gets behind the ball. That means you have to run. If you don't want to run or you're tired, sub out, let somebody else in while you rest. You'll get back in because everybody gets tired from a lot of running. 3-2 formation, 3 backs, 2 forwards, cover the center. Pressure, somebody always goes after the ball. Get that attacker's head down so they can't dribble, they can't see the field, and they can't shoot. Protect the center. We don't want to leave a hole in the middle. Always protect the center. If you're not the pressure player, you should be thinking about protecting that center. That means the left forward and the left back do not go on the right side of the field unless there's an emergency. Same with the right forward and the right defender should not go on the left side of the field unless there is an emergency. Mark the attacker's goal side. Be between the goal and the ball. Do not get in front of the player that you're marking. So I said that wrong. Get between the player you're marking and the goal. So if that player receives the ball, they cannot turn and shoot. And lastly, when outnumbered, delay. Put pressure on the attacker with the ball with the intent to slow them down and drive them towards the sideline. Do not let them get closer to the danger zone because that's where they can shoot. The rest of the team sprints back as fast as they can. Do all these things and other teams will have a very difficult time scoring on you.